Morena koutou. I was sitting up the front here, it didn't look like that many 20 minutes ago. Yeah, well, welcome. Whanganui, as you can see, I'm the Pou Tai Ao manager for Te Whanganui Orotū Tai Whenua. I'll rip right into it, and I'm going to cover we've done a lot of things in the past 12 months, but I'm going to cover about 6 of some of the focus point things that we've been doing. Te Mana o Te Wai, also capacity building and training, a desire to work with other Tai Ao and environmental groups, safe drinking water, emergency preparedness, and matauranga tuku iho. Albert and I were at a conference last week, MFE conference in Cambridge, and they were talking about matauranga Māori. And this wahine, she was speaking, and she says, don't call it that, it's matauranga tuku iho. And I was saying, yeah, that makes more sense, because it's more specific to your region and your locality. So I like that, matauranga tuku iho. Okay, we have a kahui group. It's called Kahui Tautoko, and it's made up of 8 representatives from our 8 ahuriri marae. And for the past, they've been there for a while, but since November of last year, we've been developing a Te Mana o Te Wai plan. And the plan sets the pathway for building capacity of marae and kaitiaki to participate in decision making. That's the key. And Poipoia Limited, they're a Māori planning group. They've been facilitating that work with us. And it's 90% complete, so we're almost there. And that plan is going to be the basis for building capacity to participate in decision making. Yeah, in January this year, myself, Hiratanga Tai Whenua Tai Ao rep, Ngāti Pāhuera Tai Ao rep, Tamatea Pōkai Whenua rep, and Mana Ahuriri, we had a preliminary discussion on the merits of closer liaisons around environmental matters. Namely, how can we be most efficient working together and sharing expertise? That preliminary discussion found that we have a lot more common interests than differences. Hopefully, in widening the scope of to as many Tai Ao groups as may be interested, we can further engage on the merits of that idea. Havelock North water poisoning, you remember that a few years ago? Well, since then, the government's introduced new drinking water regulations, and those kick in next year. So maraes, schools, churches, they'll be deemed to be small water suppliers, and they must regularly inspect their drinking water to ensure it's safe. Our Tai Whenua is working on a plan to provide specialist training to our marae that are interested in learning to inspect their own water drinking systems to ensure that they meet the regulations. So that's a work in progress. Emergency preparedness containers. We secured 8 of those for our 8 ahuriri marae last year, and we've been dishing those out to the maraes. They include equipment inside them, things like generators, defibrillators, first aid kits, trolleys, cookers, gas bottles, etc. And those containers, by the way, were secured by Tania Eden last year through the Iwi Leaders Group. And it's a resource for marae preparedness in emergencies. We're hoping to be able to add some more things to those containers for our 8 marae. We've got Starlink satellite dishes and chainsaws and other tools like that. And we're also hoping that we can get together a bit of a a training program on how to use all those bits of equipment for our maraes. By the way, since cyclone last year, 4 of our 8 marae are fully operational. This is our matauranga mahi. We've been developing our own diary type of instrument to better implement the maramataka and cultural knowledge. We have a page for each individual day of the month, and there's an example up there of one of those days. And it outlines the lunar influence for that day, or the mood for that day, what is good and not good to do that day. And on the following page, which is not up there, we're recording our own observations, especially for our Jobs for Nature team when they're out there in the taiao. And over time, we will build an evidence-based system of data for referral. It's important to record our own sampling and testing observations, as some of the, say, planting work that we're doing will take a few years to manifest its results, but we'll record that so that we can refer back for building up our matauranga. Yeah. For instance, today is a low energy day. It's kore kore tuatahi. It's a good time to rest, spend time with whānau, support those in need, be creative, and practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is like meditation, relaxation. Well, before I hand the time over to Albie, I'll just finish with this whakatauki. Ko te manu e kai ana I te miro, nō nā te nāhere. Ko te manu e kai ana I te matauranga, nō nā te ao. The bird that consumes the meadowberry owns the forest. The bird that consumes knowledge owns the world. Kia ora koutou. I'll hand time over to Albie.
Kia ora matua, Wayne. Thank you for that. Ngā mihi nui whānau. I wasn't able to get a slide presentation together, but I think the kōrero should envisage you on where we're heading with it. So I'm going to kōrero on te mana o te wai. E nā mana, e nā reo, e nā karatanga maha, tēnā koutou katoa. Tēnei au, mihi, mi kau, kia koutou, I runga e te kaupapa nui tēnei rā, ara ko te moana o te wai o mō te Whanganui a Orotū, nō reira tēnā koutou tātou katoa. Today I stand here before you to talk about te mana o te wai, the power and the authority of our water in the context of te Whanganui a Orotū. This is a sacred body of water that holds immense significance to our iwi and our hapu, embodying not only a source of sustenance, but also a connection to our ancestors and our future generations. Te mana o te wai speaks to the fundamental importance of water and its roles in our lives. It asserts that the water must be protected and treated with the utmost respect, ensuring its priority is life-sustaining and its properties are preserved for us all. Te Whanganui a Orotū is not just a resource, but a living entity with its own mauri deserving of our care and our guardianship. It's at this point I wish to acknowledge our marae and the kāhui and their representatives from them. This kāhui group has been instrumental in providing not only mātou ranga Māori, but the kōrero and the teachings and the guidance that enabled us to participate fully in te mana o te wai kaupapa. Ngā mihi nui ki au, te harato hene wai, tāngoi o Diane, Peitene, Rosie, whararangi Tipene, Timikara Auntie Maya, Moti o Auntie Maureen, Waio Hiki, Auntie Tapi, and Kohu Pātiki Sama. Also for the wonderful mahi that Poipoe consultants have done, Keitan Pia, sorry. Mō Orotū mahi nui ki te pupuri o te mātauranga Māori I ki te arahi ia mātou ki roto I ngā mahi te taio. Through this process we are able to build capacity. This means actively involving our kaumātua, kaitiaki and rangatahi in these decision-making processes, ensuring all voices and insights shape our strategies by educating our rangatahi and installing in them a deep respect for water and the environment so that they can continue this legacy of kaitiakitanga. These learnings enable us to fully participate in mātauranga tuku iho that refers to the traditional knowledge and wisdom passed down through generations. It encompasses a holistic understanding of our environment, our practices and our values. This mātauranga is not static, it evolves and adapts while nurturing the core principles and the truth of our ancestors that have entrusted us with the knowledge. It is our responsibility to apply it in ways that honour and sustain our taio. When we consider the te mano o te wai through the lens of mātauranga tuku iho, we recognise that the interconnectedness of all living things, that water is the lifeblood of the land and its health reflects in the health of the entire ecosystem. Our traditional practices such as rahui and kaitiakitanga are rooted in this understanding. They are practical expressions of our respect for the natural balance and our commitment to maintaining it. In transferring this knowledge into our taio mahi, we must embrace and integrate an approach that combines traditional wisdom with contemporary science, Māori science with a better Western science. We must strengthen our spaces of science and mātauranga so that that has been a contestable space of science is a consistent and strong body of knowledge to validate and implement te mano o te wai objectives. So, to improve the health and well-being and the protection and restoration of our local streams and lakes and awa, and putting up the scientific and cultural significances of a validated framework to support the water catchment management. Planning and decision-making of our expanding body of knowledge and evidence of our we just must have validate just how important the Indigenous knowledge and practices are and how it complements our Māori science as an integrated planning tool. Internationally, nationally, these approaches are being cited as an opportunity to innovate our sustainable environment and management. It's evident that across our diverse communities, we have much to share and to gain from protecting and monitoring our activities in the health of the water body. To develop these measures and indicators regarding the understanding of our ecological health of the whanga and the taonga species. So for them to survive, we have to improve our collaboration and our decision makings, the opportunity to influence environmental outcomes through diverse knowledge, and that has never been more powerful than now. The one thing that is clear, our te mano o te wai mō te Whanganui a Orotū, is our approach to ensure that there was an intergenerational commitment to the health and well-being and the restoration of and the protection of our jewel in the crown. Effective water management requires collaboration with the willing, and that our future projects require collaboration to build capacity with our iwi, our local MPs, our chairs, industry, farmers, private sector, and broader stakeholders, Chair, necessary to socialise the whānga. Community and economic benefits of monetary objectives and water management and planning systems cannot be left to enhance what we must drive, but we must drive with growth. To have skills and capacity and alignment in our jobs and environmental sustainability and economic opportunity, and that can be holistically applied and integrated into planning and management practices that we have to keep reaffirming that. We need to be concentrated that to move forward, integrate and intergenerational decision making, we must have a commitment to the environment and the economic benefits of this approach to ensure a lasting impact. It's important to share the knowledge and expertise of mātauranga Māori and tuku iho to create the vibrations and the ripples of opportunity to enhance the learning very quickly. We need to be fast learners from each other, to actually be courageous in our mindset and think differently and work towards an objective that actually doesn't make us question that the things we have had, that we have had have been gifted to us. It makes us more connected, more responsible, that we are making decisions that are an intergenerational benefit. Go quickly to the heights of Poraiti. That this is the land of the proverb of our ancestors, the storehouse that never closed is te whānga. A meal in the morning, a meal in the noon, and a meal in the evening, that is te Whanganui a Orotū. As we gather here at the Fishhook Summit, let us remember that our actions today will shape our future of the te Whanganui a Orotū by honouring te mana o te wai and applying mātauranga tuku iho, mātauranga Māori in our taios mahi. We can ensure that the precious taonga is preserved for the generations to come. All the best to our speakers today. Have a great time. Nā mihi nui te karakia ko rangatira Baden. Kai mahi taio o te tai whenua o te Whanganui a Orotū. Ko Albert Hapu te Nahu Baker. Ko ahau. Mauri ora.